You could just give us an overview of what spiritual abuse is, where it might be found, and a little bit about what you do, and then we'll go back to a little bit of your story. If you could do that, that'd be great.
Well, I often distinguish toxic faith from spiritual abuse. Toxic faith, people are probably more accustomed to talking about legalism. So when I talk about toxic faith, I'm talking about being legalistic, meaning that your relationship with God, or what you're telling other people about God, is based on rules and how to follow rules. So that's
right.
The legal aspect. And that's toxic. It's toxic because it doesn't actually bring you in relationship with God. It just weighs you down. Jesus talked about a heavy yoke. And that's what a toxic faith is.
Right there, you've got my attention right there, because I actually hadn't seen, I know legalism is unhealthy, but I hadn't actually seen it as, and it is toxic. It's exactly what Jesus said. So thank you for that right there.
So that's, I always think in metaphors or visual, but I think of toxic faith as like the ground that spiritual abuse grows out of. So spiritual abuse is when you take a legalistic system and then you use that against people, trying to make them, you can manipulate them, trying to have power over them. You're trying to use that toxic faith, that legalistic faith, to your advantage. You're trying to get something out of someone else through that. And it's a violation of those people. So I think you can have a toxic faith, probably without spiritual abuse, but they pretty much almost always leads to the other.